Thank you very much. We move on to Art. Art, you come from the best county in Ireland, which is Donegal, and definitely all of you should visit it and spend lots of money there. And the landscape there is very much kind of similar to what we see on the screen for Winterfell. What's it like? You were brought up as well almost to be an actor, weren't you? Like you've been shaped, haven't you? What's it like being trained from? Well, I don't know if it's even possible to explain what it's like to be trained as an actor from a very young age. I mean, is it different from your friends that you hung around with at school? Was your life much different, do you think?
A tiny bit. Like my mum, taught me to act since I was around 5. So from that age, I just moved forward and tried to get parts and stuff. And yeah, it is different from the other children, but it's not like annoying. It's better different.
It's better different. So they're all like kicking footballs and you're there murdering people in Shakespearean dialogue. Murder must be really good fun. That's great. I just love hearing that accent again. That's brilliant. Thank you. Miltos, your accent isn't a bit like what I imagined.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Exactly, it's brilliant. I just want to wave my hands when you speak like that. That's brilliant. You've done lots of Shakespearean work of your own, according to your bio. But I was very nosy there a few weeks ago and actually looked up all your TV work. And you've been horrifically typecast in a lot of things. What I found were things like a documentary called Neanderthals, another one which became a personal favourite of mine that I watched again and again called Neanderthal Sex, who was Walking with Beasts, in which you played... What did you play in Walking with Beasts?
A Neanderthal.
Very good. And then you move on to this really subtle, beautiful, nuanced kind of role. Was it like a drink of fresh water?
Well, it was, because I seemed to manage to get typecast doing Neanderthal roles. It was mainly because I was the only actor who didn't complain sitting for like 4 hours in prosthetic makeup, you know. So I think that was one of the reasons they kept calling me back to kind of do it again. Also because I kind of was stocky and kind of had the same... Well, anything I'm going to say is just kind of makes it sound terrible because it's like it's complete typecasting. But yeah, I mean, what an amazing experience. So it's just not just about playing this amazing part, but to get to work with someone like William Hobbs to kind of, for 2 to 3 weeks to kind of like be trained as someone who was born with a sword in their hand. It was like, that was kind of a boy's own adventure, you know. So that was an amazing experience.
It's pretty much the thing a lot of my fellow nerds in this room dream of. It really is.
It is.
I did try sword fighting once myself. I lasted 30 seconds before I pulled a muscle in my back. quite disappointing.
The worst thing, of course, is that you're trained in kind of saber fighting and fencing, and of course then we turn up and we get given these swords that weigh a ton, which we have to hold in one hand. And my wrist was like painful for months afterwards, after we finished shooting. So that wasn't expected, but you go.
It's worth the adulation. Speaking of adulation, there must be someone here with a question. Come on, look at them. Yes, the lady at the front.
Each of you is given the power to decide the costume of the person to your left. What do you put them wearing? In Miltos' case, obviously, Christian.
Okay.
Storyboard artist?
You can
play too. You don't have to.
Fantastic.
Okay, I'm just going to repeat that question because it's a very, very long room, and maybe not. The lady did speak brilliantly, but maybe not everyone can hear. So I may repeat some of the questions if you don't mind. And the lady asked if one of the Game of Thrones people here could decide the costume on the person to their left, what would that costume be? Okay. Carry on, Christian. You're brilliant. You're good at this.
What?
Am I deciding the costume for William?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Well, I'm thinking sort of like a Tony Hart outfit. Nylon slacks. And like a pink and peach sort of striped drip dry shirt.
Can I have a berry with that?
I'm one of those things.
Those things.
Palette. There you go.
Okay. My turn then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well for Sophie then, we're going to leather her up a bit so that she's going to kick some ass whenever it comes into the next part of the series. Because I'm watching her in the scripts, you know, becoming stronger, so it's good. Yeah, leather. Swords. She hasn't had a sword yet, you know, you got to give her a sword as well. So there you go.
Awesome. Amazing. Satin wool gown. I don't know. I'd give her a little urchin costume.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Put
But,
down,
you know, it suits you and it suits Aria, so.
put down your shovel. Okay. I'll give Art a little monkey outfit with. Let's go with a little cheeky grin. Yeah, and then you should be a monkey. I don't really know what else.
Just be careful.
Neanderthal.
I would give him
Art, can you speak into the microphone?
a. Oh, sorry. I would give him
Bunny ears.
bunny costume. Yeah, with the basket and eggs and stuff. Completely pink.
That wouldn't be the first time I've kind of worn something.
I once played a character that was a superhero called Fluff, and all he wore was like a kind of nappy that was made out of kind of candy floss, and a chain with just the letter F emblazoned and nothing else. It's one of my kind of more humiliating periods. Christian, I just have this image. I'd love to see you kind of turned up in like kind of brown cords and brogues and kind of a kind of nice tank top and shirt with a bow tie and a kind of tweed kind of blazer with kind of elbow patches. So you kind of really you get this impression of kind of university lecturer, and literally turns up and everyone's kind of expectant, and then he just kind of stands there just repeating this word over and over again.
Well, that's the most amazing question I've ever heard at a panel. Thank you very much for that. Does anyone else have a question? Someone? Yes, the gentleman at the front.
Hi, I'm Phil Wills from Following the Nerd. For so many decades we've had science fiction dominating TV, and recent years now it's more or less going back in time to the old sword, sandal, Celtics. We've had Robin Hood sort of going back in time, swords. We've had Rome, and now we've also got with Lord of the Rings films, but particularly now Winterfell is brilliant being into the TV series, which I'm really chuffed about. People like my age grew up with lightsabers, and now we're sort of pretending to use actual proper swords. Yeah. I'm just wondering, obviously for yourselves, you're having to go through a lot of stunts and a lot of practice. I mean, what's it like actually having to prepare for those sort of sword fights?
So I'm just going to repeat the question. What's it like having to prepare for sword fights when you can't use lightsabers anymore? Yeah, no, okay. Anyone like to answer that? Anyone who actually uses a sword? We've got 3 of them here.
I think working with a sword, it's really different because from last season when we worked with wooden swords and things, sometimes they'd give you like a foam one to slide. But I think because I'd never done sword fighting before, using my left hand and sort of learning it that way, it was a lot easier. But I don't know really. I like it because it's sort of needles made to sort of fit me. So it's not like wielding a huge great sword around like what some of them do. But I like it because it's not just hacking and hammering. It's swift and sudden. But, yeah.
But it is that thing where you you don't get a lot of time to rehearse. That's the thing when you're doing filmmaking or TV, making TV series. The thing that people forget, and particularly we forget, is that we don't get lots of time to rehearse. So it's quite amazing what you can do when you have a deadline. And of course, they sometimes break it down, so they shoot it from lots of different angles. So you kind of you can go, okay, I can hold this amount of information in my head, and then we'll kind of like cut, and then we'll pick up. But the weird thing is, when we did our very first lesson, they just ran the whole scene. It was like, oh my God, I have to like remember it all,
And with the lines.
And with all the lines and stuff like that. So it was good that, you do of course prep, and you do work with people like Buster, and he's fantastic about kind of choreographing something, and kind of pushing you. He makes sure that you get challenged. It's amazing how much you do remember, and how quickly you do learn. So I think sometimes I kind of surprise. I mean, you surprised me amazing. I spent 3 weeks learning all this choreography, and then I turn up and we have like 2 days, and Maisie just picked it up like immediately. It's like that. I was like, what have I been doing for the last 2 years?
I think in a couple of the scenes, I was in Malta, and I was learning it with the stunt guys, while you were learning it with the stunt guys. And then when we came back to film it, we literally practiced together on that day, and that was it, and we went. So we'd never really done it with each other, so it could have been like a big risk, because you've been working with like full-grown men, and I've been working so it was different. But it's weird how it comes around, but I hope it worked, and I hope you liked it.
Do you think your training as a dancer helped you in this?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've always sort of been quick to pick up choreography and things like that. It's just something that I'm good at, I guess. So when it came, I was worried because obviously I'd never done this sort of thing before. But to pick it up, it was just like a dance really, but you've got a big thing in your hand. But to try, it was actually harder to make the swords hit than to do all the quick turns. And sometimes you sort of miss, and it's like, oh, that wasn't very good. But yeah.